Hi, in this video we're going to see how we can create a sequence diagram. So sequence diagram first is about showing the interactions between different objects. So let's say you want to talk about a specific operation, how it works inside your application through a sequence diagram. So you need to represent your objects that are involved in this operation, and then you can demonstrate about the interactions that are taking place throughout the operation. So let's take an example, see how we can create a sequence diagram. So I'm going to create adding course sequence diagram. So here I have prepared my bindable instance. Okay, so in order to start, let's say I want to talk about the operation of adding a course. So adding a course through the application, my application, let's say, it starts by opening add course window. Okay, then I need to use also my course model I have created, which will hold the information about the course that is going to be added. And then this is like the course manager or the course class, which is responsible to add the course into the database. And finally, I need the database provider or the database. Okay. Now, in order to start interacting with add course, you need to use a gate. So go and create a gate like this. And then I use the sequence message. Okay, so assuming these are my objects, so here I call a function open to activate add course window. Now this little thin box or rectangle simply is the activation. So this indicates about the activation time where this window is active and doing something. Of course, this is going to be longer, so I can expand that or extend that. Now this dot line is simply the lifeline for your object. Okay, so now the idea is after the clerk or student open add course window, right? Then let's say he has entered all the data into add course window. Now, once he clicks save, I want to create course module, right? Or course model. Okay, so I want to create course model. So in this case, in order to show that this object has been created at that time or at a specific time, then you can choose this one. Create message or create a creation message. Then you point out the starting point to the other object. And now you will see that this indicates that this object is going to be created after some time of the window being opened. So now since we're talking about adding course diagram, so of course after some time where the clerk has entered or keyed in the information about the course, or then he can click to create, let's say, this course where a course model will be created. Now, after I create the course model, I can do call for validation, right? So after I keyed in the information or I created my object, I can call validate method. And this validate method will check upon the data, do some validation to ensure the data, let's say, fulfill the conditions associated with each one of it. And then after all, I will get some return message from the call, the earlier call. So let's say this will tell me that validation went true, went okay. Now, after this is done, I'm going to call, let's say, course object, call a method inside course object to add the course. Okay, and I'm going to call this, let's say, add course, and then I'm passing some parameter, probably here I can put, so course info. Okay, but probably this doesn't appear here. So if I want it to appear, make it sure it's clear on the diagram itself. So probably I can do some such thing like this. And if I need to, again, make sure that the condition, the earlier condition is satisfied, I can also write something like this. to indicate that this adding course or calling this function is going to be happen in reference to the point that validation went true, went okay at earlier time. Now, after calling this object, of course, probably it can also do some validation or even here inside the window, but we already actually have done some validation here. But if we need to do further validation, we can call here inside course probably, or during this calling for this operation, we can do further checking, or just simply I'm going to call data provider to save data. Okay, so in this case, I have, let's say I have saved the data successfully. So I'm getting confirmation. Okay, or just confirm equal true. And same here, confirm equal true. So, and that's it. Now, before I end my sequence diagram, I may, or actually I need to destroy this object as it's no longer required. Then I can use destruction message. I'm going to point from this object. Okay, so in this case, I'm emphasizing, or I'm making sure that I have destroyed the object that I have created earlier. Okay, as I said here, for course, probably you can do some also validation before you do the actual saving. So if you want to do double validation time, you may have it already inside course model and then have it inside the course. But this also would be, I think, enough in this case, since the course model will handle validation part. Okay, but if you are working, let's say in another example where you have web application, you have an interface where you are working on JavaScript to validate certain fields, and then you have again the course object, then you can do another validation, or probably again you can keep it inside the course model. Okay, for me, I feel this is more interesting, where I can keep the data, the states for my course information, and some validation process to include inside where I can call to validate my course model. Okay, that's all. Hopefully this video was informative. Thank you for watching.